On the morning of January 6, 2025, at 11:15 a.m., a man named David Morrow was sitting on his apartment balcony, enjoying the view of the Pacific Ocean, just like he did every other day. It was a normal day. Suddenly, from about 5 miles away from his apartment, on the hills of Pacific Palisades, he saw flames with sparks flying. In just an hour, the fire spread rapidly, and the smoke completely covered the hills. Satellite images show that the fire was first reported on the Pacific Palisades hills, but within hours, it spread to areas like Edmhurst, Kenneth Getty, Skirball, and San Fernando. At the time the fire broke out, winds were blowing at speeds of 100 kilometers per hour, coming from inland towards the ocean, about 150 square kilometers, and burned over 12,000 buildings and homes. Around 180,000 people were forced to evacuate. This is the most devastating fire in Los Angeles history, and as of the production of this video, the fire is still not fully extinguished. Despite all efforts, including water bombers dumping 45,000 liters of water at once, it seems like nothing is working. Chemical substances are also being dropped, but all these efforts seem to be in vain. California, which already faces water shortages, had empty fire hydrants in some areas, and the firefighters were spread thin due to the fire affecting 7 different areas. On top of this, the strong winds 70 to 100 kilometers per hour further fueled the fire. Before understanding the actual cause of the fires spread in Los Angeles, let's look at the history of wildfires in California. Over the past 25 years, California has been a hotspot for wildfires. In 2003, the Cedar Fire in San Diego County burned 273,000 acres. In 2017, the Tubbs Fire burned 36,000 acres, and later that year, the Thomas Fire scorched 280,000 acres. In 2018, the Camp Fire burned 500,000 acres, and in 2020, the Glass Fire scorched 67,000 acres. If we look at the dates of these fires, one thing is common: they mostly occurred in winter. And the recent Los Angeles fire also started in peak winter. So, why do most wildfires in California occur in winter? The answer lies in a phenomenon called the Santa Ana winds. These are hot, dry winds that occur in Southern California and Baja California, especially in autumn and winter. If we look at the Earth's surface, to the east of California, there are vast deserts, such as the Mojave Desert and Great Basin. The heat from the sun increases the air pressure in the desert, while the ocean air remains cooler with lower pressure. As we learned in 6th grade, air always moves from high pressure to low pressure areas. Therefore, these Santa Ana winds move quickly towards the ocean. These winds are dry and hot, and as they pass through the region, they absorb moisture, drying out everything in their path. This makes bushes and trees easily catch fire. These winds essentially turn the entire region into fuel for wildfires. When a fire starts, these winds intensify the flames and spread the embers quickly, making it difficult to control. Ideally, the wildfire should spread in the direction of the wind, but in Los Angeles, the opposite happened. The fire initially started near the ocean and Pacific Palisades, and then spread inland. To understand why this happened, we need to look at another interesting phenomenon called the mountain wave rotor. When the wind hits the windward side of a mountain, it creates an upward flow, but on the leeward side, it creates a vortex effect. This vortex causes the air to spin, and the direction of the wind on the leeward side may be opposite to the windward side. In the case of Los Angeles, the fire started in the leeward side of Pacific Palisades, and due to this mountain wave rotor effect, the winds reverse direction and push the fire inland. Once a wildfire becomes intense, it can create strange phenomena that are hard to predict. One such phenomenon is the fire tornado, a rare and dangerous occurrence during intense wildfires. It forms like a tornado, but instead of air, it consists of flames and hot air. The rising hot air pulls in surrounding dry vegetation, intensifying the fire's rotation. Fire tornadoes are difficult to predict because they generate their own wind and can spread fires unpredictably. Most of the time, they spread the fire upwards along the mountains,